Okay, let's talk about your 20s and the importance of not fucking up your 20s now. I'm 29 years old, right? I'm about to close the chapter on my 20s very soon. And the only gripe with my 20s is that I feel like the position I'm in now, I feel like I could have been in this position a few years earlier. Right? That's the only thing I'm really like, ugh. I could have done this a few years ago. You know what I mean? So I might have fumbled a couple of years. But realistically, I wouldn't be in the position I'm in now if I didn't maneuver the way I maneuvered in my 20s. I wouldn't have the mentality or the wisdom that I do now if I didn't experience certain things in my 20s. I know it's to say experience. So if you want to go into the type of self-improvement advice for guys in their 20s, I feel like a lot of the self-improvement advice is refusing to participate. And that would never be advice that I give, right? Now, your 20s is a fine line. A fine line. Your 20s are an interesting time because it's a fine line and you can either tip over one side or tip over the other side. In your 20s, you're getting loads of things thrown at you. Loads of different temptations. It's very easy. Like, in your early 20s, you're very young, man. You're still like a kid still. I felt like I was a grown man at 18. I looked like a grown man at 18. Realistically, I look back, I was a child. I felt like I was a grown man at 20. I lived on my own at 21. I was a child. You understand? Like, so I know you might feel like you're a grown man and you're an adult and you're this and you're that, but you still got a lot to learn and you got a lot to experience. Now, the job is to stay on track, stay on that line. Don't go off the rails when all these temptations and all these things are thrown at you, right? A lot of the self-improvement stuff, to me, is so good, it's so positive. I agree with all of it, but then there's this little thing in the back of my head that says, but what about the experiences? What about the experiences? A lot of the self-improvement stuff, to me, it seems like you're just refusing to participate, right? Now, quickly, with the self-improvement, you can be the man in your bubble. With self-improvement, you're creating a bubble for yourself. You're creating a world where you're the fucking man. You get up early, you go to the gym, you do this, you do that. When you step out into the real world, you're going to come across guys who do everything that you do. Naturally, they get up. Naturally, they go to the gym. Why? Because they want to go to the gym. No one told them to go. That was a decision that they made. They weren't influenced to do it. They just fucking went. They go. They don't talk about it. They just do it. You're gonna get guys who approach women without hesitation. They don't think about it. They don't need a pickup line. They don't need a coach. They don't need this. They don't do that. These are natural guys, and the natural guys are always going to eat the self-improvement guys alive. Just know that. And because I know that, I get conflicted with the advice I give. I can easily get on here and tell you not to drink alcohol, but then that little voice in the back of my head says, but what about all those experiences that you had in social settings where alcohol was involved? Just tell these kids not to drink alcohol. Now, this is where analysing yourself comes in. I analysed myself to the point where I was kind of blind to other people. So when I started drinking at 16, 17, 18, bear in mind I was still going to the gym at 16, 17, 18, but I was drinking alcohol on the weekends. Didn't cross my mind that some of the people that I was drinking with would end up being alcoholics. Didn't cross my mind. When I got into my early 20s and we started going to the bar, going to the club, it didn't cross my mind that some people might try drugs and end up kind of hooked on drugs or binging on drugs. Didn't cross my mind because I knew that I would never take any. You understand? I analysed myself and I felt like doing certain things was safe for me. That was safe for me. Having a few drinks on the weekend was safe for me. I knew that I wasn't going to go off the rails. I knew that I could still stay on track. Didn't make a difference. Now, what you've got to do is analyse yourself. Who are you? Are you a leader? Are you a follower? Are you easily influenced? Who are you? Ask yourself that and then make your decisions. It's not just this. Everyone's different. You understand? Now, I was never a follower. Does that necessarily make me a leader? Whatever. Some people will be uncomfortable with me saying that. I was never a follower. I never done what someone else did. I didn't care what other... If I didn't like going to this place, I just wouldn't fucking go. If I didn't like this person, I'll just stop seeing them. It was simple to me. I done what I wanted to do. I knew what I was capable of. I knew what I shouldn't try. I knew what routes I shouldn't go down. And I made it out of my 20s unscathed. With all these experiences. So now I'm about to open the door. I'm 30 years old. And I can look back on my 20s and say, yeah, that was a full decade of experiences. Good times, bad times. lessons, you know, heartache, loads of shit. A full decade of my 20s of experiences, not a full decade of fucking doing a self-improvement bubble for 10 years, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, the experience improved me. Life experiences improved me. Now, see, I don't want to give bad advice. Do you understand? But you gotta understand where I'm coming from. I cannot tell you not to get in a relationship. You want to learn about women? Go get your heart fucking broken and ripped to pieces and stamped on. Then you'll learn about women. At some point, life will just force you to learn. Watching the videos, reading the books, listening to the podcast, it will only get you so far. The real world will just bring you back to reality and like, no, bro, you feel like you know about women. What about this one here? Oh, you like her, don't you? Oh, you're in love with her, ain't you? Go on, go over there and go fuck your life up for a couple of years. That's just what life is. I can tell you to try and avoid all these things 100%, but at the same time, that might be detrimental to you later down in the line. I don't want people to start reaching their 30s and didn't experience nothing in their 20s. I couldn't imagine being mid-30s and never experiencing a heartbreak. I couldn't imagine being in mid-30s and never had the shit kicked out of me. Now, this is the thing. You can go through experiences and you can choose the right path to experience these things. You need to experience physical altercation and be 100% comfortable with confrontation. 100%. How did I become comfortable with confrontation? I had the shit kicked out of me. I've been punched in the face. I've had my head stamped on. You don't need to do that. But you should get yourself into a boxing gym or MMA or jiu-jitsu or kickboxing and do something to the point where you're comfortable with confrontation, with physical violence, with stuff like that. You need to do it. You need to get into relationships. You need to date. You need to get out there. You need to experience women. You need to know what it's like. Pain. You need to know what it's like to be flaked on. You need to know these things, experience these things. You need to have friends. You need to go out with friends. You need to fall out with friends. You need to have arguments. You need to do this. You need to do that. Life experiences that everyone went through until we got to this fucking bullshit generation where people don't want to experience nothing. They don't want to feel no pain. They don't want to feel nothing. They want to avoid it. And I feel like avoiding it will just be by creating a bubble where you're doing a self-improvement journey. So you're getting fulfillment out of this. Do the self-improvement and experience life at the same time. You'll be a beast. You understand? Because the people that did it that way will eat the fucking self-improvement guys alive every single fucking time. Don't be scared of experiences. Your 20s are a beautiful journey. Analyze yourself. Know what you can and can't do. If you feel like you've got an addictive personality, just avoid the alcohol. Don't go to the clubs. Don't go to the bars. Do something else that's do something else with your time. You might just want to start focusing on women and start going on dates and stuff like that. This is the thing. You can still make your money. You can still be your entrepreneur. You can still do all your side hustle. And you can still have women at the same time. Don't feel like you got to pick one. Don't focus on your money journey. And then by the time you reach 30, you're a millionaire, but you got no experience with women. It all comes back down to experience. Experience, 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 experience. I'm not telling you to do the wrong things, but I'm telling you everything's okay in moderation. And by the time you make it out of your 20s, you'll be the guy that you want to be. You'll be a G. You'll be self-improved. You understand? Experiences. Don't be scared of experiences. Stay on track. The 20s is hard. I know it's hard, but stay on track. It's a thin line. Stay on fucking track. Put the blinders on. Peace.